Oklahoma, the 9-time defending champs of the Big 12. And the next stage of the 2022 season starts right now. Ball brings home the first pitch. The bunt is foul for strike one. Feel a different energy, Aaron, when you guys would kick into conference play?
It's electric. This is like chapter 2. Coach used to always describe it as chapter 2. Close the book on chapter 1. Now look ahead. Takes a little bit different preparation.
No balls and a strike to Mackenzie Wilson. Lines this one into left field, just on the chalk. It's in for a single. Good job cutting it off quickly out in left field by Alyssa Brito, and a leadoff single for Mackenzie Wilson, the talented center fielder, hitting .432 on the season, a threat to go. She stole 12 of 14 bases this season. Taylor Strain, who steps to the plate, will bat second and play left field, with Sydney Koyasos batting third at third base. Aaliyah Binford, she's their big power source, even though she has just one bomb this season. It's cleanup with Josie Bauer playing first and batting fifth. Here's the first pitch to the left fielder, Taylor Strain. Went through the rest of the lineup after this pitch, which is bunt foul. Anna Watson will bat sixth and right. Kendall Cross in that 7-hole in the left field. Zadie LaValle sounds familiar. Audra LaValle, former Sooner. It's her cousin. Has a pretty solid background. Carl Albert with her high school career. Zadie LaValle will bat eighth and catch, and Casey West will bat ninth and play second base. Here's the 0-1 pitch, give you that Sooner defense after Jordy brings it home, and it's up and away. See Lindsay Elam back in behind the plate, but good news, Kinsey Hansen is in the lineup tonight as the DP. Kaylin Snow over at first, Tiari Jennings at second. Grace Lyons at short with Jansen third. Alo in the field, playing in right field. Jada Coleman in center, and Alyssa Brito in left. Scoreless game. Baylor's leadoff hitter aboard. The 1-1 is a bunt attempt well outside. The throw behind Wilson at first.
I love the pitch location in the situation by Jordy Ball. We've seen 2 bunt attempts by Taylor Strain. One fouled back on something up in the zone, and again, getting that chase up and away. Great pitch location in this situation for Jordy Ball.
She's ahead on the count here, a ball and 2 strikes. Jordy brings it home. Well, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Say a little while. It might have been somewhat humoristic here. That was well out the strike zone.
Already a much different view of Baylor than what we saw. I mean, first punch out of the gate with Wilson in the leadoff. Aggressive hack so far by the Bears.
2-2. Bouncer towards short, could be 2. Nope. Lions will just get the easy one at first. A little bit too in front of the bag to try to step on the bag and force out Wilson, who moves to second. And she didn't really have much of a chance to get on the bag.
I think that this was the right call. I mean, right there, it's just last-second communication between Jennings and Lyons, making sure that they're at least securing 1 out. Had Jennings waited on that ball at second, could have been a close call.
So Sydney Koyasos digs in, the right-handed hitting third baseman, and fouls the first pitch back. Boy, you hit it on the head, Aaron. They're aggressive.
Yeah, it's just swinging early, swinging often, but they're very sure cuts. I mean, there is no tentative, oh, I'm not sure if I need to pull the trigger. it looks already, and I'd be interested to hear your thoughts too, DJ. It looks like there's a game plan here.
No question.
0-1 popped up foul and out of play.
And we're seeing Baylor come in, again, striking early, taking advantage of early strikes. Jordy Ball, she does not walk many batters, and they are taking advantage of the fact that Jordy Ball throws strikes. And again, you let a pitcher like Jordy Ball, who has high strikeout numbers, she has struck out 108 batters, get ahead in the count, you're putting yourself in a tough situation.
0-2 count here. Ball stares in. The freshman brings it home. That didn't miss by much. A little low on that inside edge. Ball and 2 strikes. These 2 teams played, I say back on like it was a long time ago, March 10th, 2 weeks ago in Hawaii. Sooners won that game 12-3. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Bounce back to Ball. Ball looked to third. Instead, will go to first to get the sure second out. You like that?
You kind of saw my facial reaction up here. I think that there could have been an out made. She did the right thing by looking, but didn't pull the trigger. Now, it's great. She got the sure out at first base, and there's 2 outs on the board. But, man, that looked to have been a slam dunk out at third base had she thrown it.
Mackenzie Wilson almost did the biggest no-no of getting thrown out at third. Very well could have, should have happened, but again, take the 2 outs.
Aaliyah Binford digs in, their talented shortstop, third baseman, pitcher, and she swings through the first pitch for strike 1.
Staying with that game plan so far, Binford coming out, hacking first pitch, even out of the zone. That was still a huge cut.
No balls and a strike with a runner at third and 2 outs. The pitch. Oh, a good location. 0-2 as that's called a strike. Jordy's always in motion, man. That's until she steps on that rubber, and even when she has her arms moving too. And she gets her call, that arm starts to swing. Careful here, 0-2. Ball brings it home. Up high. Well out of the strike zone. They're not going to risk an 0-2. Had a couple of those last few, well, I can't say the last few weeks, but a couple of times earlier in the season. Even a lot better. Not being too perfect 0-2.
On something too a freshman has to learn. I think we forget her numbers are so good, and she's been dominant for the most part. 1-2
pitch. Swing. Oh, did she get a piece of it? The ball gets away from Elam. The runner's going to score on the swing and a miss on a nasty, filthy pitch in the dirt on the drop ball. But Elam, unfortunately, couldn't stay in front of it, so a run scores on a strikeout.
So now you look back at that play, right?
Yep.
Now you kind of asterisk that ground ball that could have gotten the out at third base. It's always those little details, right?
So, yeah, exactly.
Always the little details.
And when people hear Coach Gasso talk about where this team is, and she'll say, we're almost a 7, we're still a 6. Things like that are reasons why. First pitch, a little up, but called a strike to Josie Bauer. So, Baylor gets the leadoff hit from Mackenzie Wilson, who advances to second on a ground out, third on a ground out, and scores on a wild pitch on a strike 3.
Welcome to the Big 12.
Welcome to the Big 12, exactly. Oh, 1 foul back. And again, Jordy Ball ahead of a hitter. DJ, no balls and 2 strikes.
I think she has been 0-2 on nearly every hitter she has seen here in the top of the first. She's throwing good pitches. I mean, the K on the strikeout, it was a great off-speed pitch. Tough pitch to handle, but still a good pitch.
The 0-2.
Just misses.
Just misses. We had a very delayed umpire on Saturday night who there was a few times, and Destiny and I were laughing about it, where you get that strike call, but there would be no movement. And it would be a good, what seemed like 20 seconds, a good couple counts later. I thought that's what was happening there. That pitch was so good. The 1-2 is fouled down the first baseline.
There's the off-speed way out in front. Bauer out on that front leg, trying to get a piece of it.
The way that Baylor is coming out swinging, very aggressive, that off-speed is going to be huge for ball moving forward, keeping these Baylor hitters honest.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Jordy rocks and fires. Bounce to second. Nice play by Jennings. Throws to first, inning over. Sooners give up a run after a leadoff hit by Mackenzie Wilson. And after a half inning, it's Sooners coming to the plate, trailing Baylor 1-0 from her grandson, Joseph Champ Gasso. And there's a good look at Ariana Orm, the starting pitcher for the Baylor Bears. Face the Sooners in Hawaii. She'll get Tiare Jennings to lead things off in the first pitch to the backstop for ball 1. Against Oklahoma, Ariana Orm went an inning against Oklahoma in Hawaii. 1 inning, gave up 3 hits, allowed 5 runs, walked 2, and struck out 1 in just an inning's worth of work. But had a fairly successful first inning against the Sooners. As the 1-0 pitch to And Jennings goes all the way to the backstop. In fact, the Oklahoma Sooners in the first inning against Orm actually stranded a base runner and didn't score a run. And then they proceeded to put 8 on the board in the second. But she's fallen behind Tiare Jennings here, 2 balls and no strikes. 1-zip, Sooners trail the Bears. Pitch, well outside ball 3. Tiare Jennings, leadoff spot again. Second baseman hitting .400 on the season. Jocelyn Allo will bat second. Grace Lyons third at shortstop. Lindsey Elam, after 5 straight at-bats with a home run, will hit cleanup and catch. It doesn't sound real when you say it.
How many people couldn't do that off of a tee?
Me. A lot.
Count me in that category as well.
Me too.
3-0, and Orm hasn't even been close, but she misses there, ball 4. A 4-pitch walk. And the only pitch that was really close to Tiare Jennings was the 3-0 pitch.
So for those of you that are listening in and can't see the TV screen, in the circle right now, Orm is a lot of movement, meaning she's got a very loud body in the circle. Not to say she's jerky, but there is a lot of explosiveness coming off of the mound, and it looks to be a little bit out of control.
It is, and you can kind of see it with her mechanics. She's very wide. A lot of that power is going the wrong direction right now, which is why she's having a hard time finding the plate.
First pitch to Jocelyn Allo. Looked a little low, but called a strike. This is the first at bat for Jocelyn Allo. First plate appearance at Marita Hines Field since breaking the home run record in college softball for a career, which was previously held by Lauren Chamberlain. Since hitting 96 in Hawaii against Hawaii on a Friday night, Jossie's up to 102. The 0-1 is outside, 1-1. And oh, by the way, she's hitting .540.
That's it?
That's it.
Man,
That's okay.
A complete hitter is Jocelyn Allo.
understatement.
I mean, it's easy to have it get lost, but she's spraying the ball everywhere with power, with authority. Here's the 1-1. Little up. 2 balls and a strike.
That's what's even more impressive to me, is that it is expected of her to get up there and get the long ball. But she's also not beneath just shooting something gap to gap, finding her way on. She took her couple handfuls of walks gracefully.
Yep.
Prior to the record.
The 2-1 pitch is lifted pretty deep to left field and long gone. Oh, baby, what a shot from Jocelyn Allo in her first plate appearance as the career home run record holder at Marita Hines Field. She puts an exclamation point on it with home run number 103. And it's 2-1 Sooners, just like that.
I don't think you can't write this any better than the way that it has unfolded for Allo. Getting the bomb for the record in Hawaii. First at bat back here in Norman after the record, giving the 2-run bomb, getting the run back. You can't, it is storybook.
249.
I was about to say there's a distance on this, and I was gonna paint that picture for our listeners, because guys, that didn't just exit the 200 fence, that exited the tall privacy fence that is, as you mentioned, at least 250, at least.
Wow, unbelievable.
Huge.
Unbelievable.
Huge.
Now, as you might imagine, immediately the Baylor coaches say, all right, let's get out there and let's try to calm Orm down. So,
well, think about it. Leadoff walk, struggles to find the strike zone, then has to find the strike zone against the NCAA career home run leader, and she hangs one over Broadway and pays for it.
Well, as much as you and I, Aaron, were sitting up here going, something doesn't quite look right.
Yeah.
You know that was the first conversation outside for a ball there, but first conversation that the Baylor coaching staff had in that dugout is, this doesn't quite look right.
Yeah.
So as Grace Lyons digs in, she takes the first pitch for a ball. Home runs this season brought to you by Whataburger, now available for curbside pickup. Download their app and check it out today. Here's the 1-0, bounced softly towards third. Nice backhand by Koyasu.
So,
1-1.
I'm gonna make you the analyst for a second
Go
because
ahead.
you were there in person in Hawaii. I need you to describe this for me. Please paint the picture for all of us. What was it like to be there in person?
Agreed.
In the flesh and blood.
It was unreal.
And you were on the call, big dog.
Yeah,
It was you nailed it, by the way.
We
Hats
had
off
fun.
to you.
Now, here's what's funny about it is Lindsey Elam makes her way to the plate. Is Whitley Simmons, who has chosen not to sit with us tonight. We'll investigate that later. But she would always make fun of me because I wanted to say Jossie's full name.
Right.
So every time Jossie would come up, we'd pull up that Microsoft Word document that had her full name. As the first pitch to Elam is in for a strike, because if you mispronounce Jocelyn Aloha Pumihana Alo, you've blown the whole thing, right? Everything else just was, she hit the perfect ball for a record breaker, right? An absolute nuke.
I love it.
Over the left, over the center field wall. And she hit a bomb here. The 0-1 is fouled back for a strike.
So what was the crowd like in Hawaii?
Unreal.
I mean, like just
all you could see was camera phones. Every time she stepped up, camera phones would get out.
I love it.
I know that the Sooner Sports TV, the Sooner Digital, the Sooner Vision crew is working hard to try to get as much of that video as they can, because there were so many cool moments.
I love that.
Seeing the video of Charlene May, Nicole May's mom, whenever the record was broken, it was so cool. The 0-2 is fouled back. To see, and we met so many people. We met so many people that just loved and was family with Jocelyn. It was special. Hawaii, that's something I will never forget.
I thought the Hawaii head coach putting the lei on her neck was, I mean, made my eyes get a little teary.
Pretty cool.
Yes.
Pretty cool. Just happened to have that lei in the dugout. Just happened to be there. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Lindsey Elam, who grounds it foul. Boy, how about Lindsey Elam's Tuesday night in Kentucky? She stepped to the plate in the early parts of the game in the second inning, and boom, that was deep over the left field wall as we watch the highlights from that Kentucky game. And then she hit a moonshot over center field. I was smart enough to walk her once. So 5 home runs in 6 plate appearances, 5 straight at bats with a bomb. She's behind here 0-2 with the Sooners up 2-1 and rips this one foul.
Well, again, we are watching the confident swings, the foul balls. If I'm a pitcher and I'm watching that approach, I am steering very, very clear of anything close to the plate.
Yes, and you're changing speeds. You've got to find a way to get her off balance.
She's hit a couple of rockets down 0-2 here. The pitch, up and away, 1-2.
Well, and if you're looking at her stats, you know that it looks like a beach ball to Lindsey Elam at the plate right now. And you don't want to be another victim of that beach ball.
1 ball, 2 strikes. With 1 out in the bottom of the first, 2-1 Sooners. Orm brings home the 1-2. This ball's lifted deep to center field, and balls! The center fielder, Wilson, just turned around and threw her hands up and left the park. Lindsey Elam, wow.
You and I it's laughable at this point. I mean, 6 in a row going yard, and these are not just barely clearing the
these
fence.
are huge.
That was a missile.
She hit, JT Gasso and I were talking about the home run against Kentucky, and I had thought the deepest bomb was Jocelyn Alo's. It was not. It was Lindsey Elam, and this is a tape measure shot for the senior captain, and it's brought to you, as always, by Whataburger. Look at JT. Ho-hum. This is another home run.
Business as usual.
Business as usual. Here's what I want to highlight about Elam. This is her 14th start of the season, and that paints a picture to me on the coaching staff. They're not scared to pull a kid into the lineup when they are red, stinking hot, and that is Elam right now.
Here's Taylor Snow. First pitch in for a strike. Home runs number 71 and 72 on the season for the Sooners as a team already. For Jocelyn Alo, 15th home run on the season. Runs batted in number 37 and 38. And for Lindsey Elam, double digits already, her 10th home run of the season. Here's the 0-1 to Taylor Snow. Bounced back up the middle and through into center field, a base hit. All right. As Taylor Snow gets the single, let's do our keys to the game, brought to you by Riverwind Casino. And DJ Sanchez, you had a good one. control momentum, and this is one way to recapture it and just take off with it.
Yes, we saw Baylor come out and strike early with aggressive at-bats, getting that run in the top of the first. Well, here come the Sooners grabbing that momentum and getting it back in that Sooner dugout.
And taking it one pitch at a time, Aaron.
Well, that goes, honestly, a lot deeper than just one pitch. I think it's one moment. And talking to Coach Gasso before this game, you can't get too big for the britches. You know, I had asked her about the narrative and all the hubbub and talk around this team right now and the success, and she said we can't get lost in that.
Kinsey Hansen DPing takes the first pitch low for a ball. If you're a Sooner fan who only pays attention to home games, then you'd be like, well, what's the hubbub? Because Kinsey Hansen's last start was right here at Marita Hines Field against Minnesota. This is her first start over the last 9 games for the Sooners. Well, actually, yeah, that's exactly what it is, 9 games. The 1-0 is grounded softly towards second. Snow dances over it. Plenty of time for West to field and throw out Hansen at first. There's 2 away. Keys to the game, by the way, brought to you by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind Casino, home to a luxury hotel, fine dining, and never-ending rewards. Riverwind here, still the one. Here's another hitter who has been on an absolute tear recently. Alyssa Brito, season average up to 336. She's already hit 6 home runs on the season. Had a couple Tuesday against Kentucky. She digs in. Sooners on top 3-1 here in the first, and a runner at second. First pitch strike. Coach Castro talked about light bulb moments, and she feels like she's seen one here from Alyssa Brito, which is exciting, man. For Sooner fans, not the opponents, of course.
The light bulb moment is something I feel like Coach has been able to have a radar for the past almost 30 years of her career.
Here's the 0-1 with the runner at second, fouled off.
I can remember the moment back in 2013 when Kalani Ricketts had the light bulb moment. You can see the light bulb moment starting to manifest in Brito. I mean, going yard, she's seeing it very well. Such a solid swing at the plate. And when you witness an athlete have the light bulb moment, their world changes. Their game opens up.
She's behind here 0-2. The pitch is a little looper in the infield. Nice play by West off one hop. Plenty of time to get Brito and in the inning. But the Big 12 game of 2022, but also the first Friday night home game for the Sooners. And the first pitch misses low and away for ball 1 to Josie Bauer. Things off, or pardon me, Bauer actually ended up reaching at the end of last inning on the strikeout that got through. This is Anna Watson. I got ahead of myself on my score sheet. 1 ball, no strikes. Ball with a 3-1 lead. And this is outside 2-0. So unlike the first inning, DJ Sanchez here fall behind a bit.
First 2-0 count, first hitters count. We've seen Jordy Ball get herself in so far, but again, one thing Jordy Ball does well is she throws good pitches in hitters counts.
The 2-0. Like that. Strike 1.
And that pitch just fell off the table, by the way. We saw Anna Watson square around for the bunt. Fell off the table.
3-1 Sooners in the top of the second inning. The movement that Jordy Ball is able to create is something pretty special. The 2-1 pitch, swing and miss, strike 2.
I had a chance in talking to Coach Gasso before the game. I said, hey, tell me a little bit about Jordy Ball. I haven't been around her. A lot of these athletes I know pretty personally and have a relationship with them, but Jordy is one that haven't had a lot of time with her. And she said, man, Aaron, she's just super chill. She's just chill.
The 2-2 pitch. Did she check her swing?
She did
not.
They're
going to say she did.
Sure looks like she did.
Looked like Watson offered at that. Not too much barking from the Sooner bench.
When you watch Jordy in the circle, she's got a lot of swagger, borderline cocky, right? She kind of bounces around, looks, you know, that low kind of glare towards home plate.
The 3-2 pitch, fouled straight back. Tonight's umpiring crew, by the way, real quick, is brought to you by Century Roofing. Century Roofing on guard for Oklahoma. Leah Bowen down behind home plate. Brandon Bloom at first, Danny Bowman at third. Continue that thought. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. She is intimidating in the circle. And when talking to Coach Gasso, she said, man, her demeanor in the circle is so different than off the field. Super humble, very laid back.
3-2, checked her swing. Did she go? Well, third base umpire isn't even looking. So as Lindsey Elam tried to point, he was jogging to second. So it's the first walk of the game. And when you talk about numbers, it's been an incredibly low walk number for Jordy Ball this season. That is just her 15th walk in 65 2/3 of an inning.
Not something we see often. And again, especially with young pitchers. Jordy Ball is a freshman. Many times, especially early in the season, you see those walk numbers go up because we see young pitchers trying to be too fine with their pitches.
3-1 Sooners. First pitch to Kendall Cross is low and outside for ball one. And they are keeping an eye on Anna Watson. This is a team that'll steal some bases now as Baylor. Watson just 5 of 6 on opportunities so far this season, but it's good for third on the team right now.
We were talking earlier about the aggressiveness of Baylor. That is just how they play the game. That's how Glenn Moore coaches. They will run. They will try to get that momentum back on their side.
Swing and a miss on the 1-0, 1-1.
And it's just, I mean, that's what Baylor has been.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that they instill in this program in the way that they go about playing the game. They still use a lot of short game.
Yeah. I mean, I can even remember back, gosh, between my years of 13 and 16, one of the biggest characteristics of Baylor is they run the base paths so well.
Bouncer foul.
How many hitters have we seen today square around for a bunt, too? I mean, I think Kendall Cross is about the 4th or 5th, and we're not even through the lineup yet.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner at first is the leadoff walk recipient, Anna Watson. Jordy Ball. Oxen fires. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Strikeout number 2 on the game for Jordy Ball. First hitter caught looking. Here's Carl Albert product, Zeta LaValle.
I love this location. I held my breath for a minute because I wasn't sure that she was going to get the strikeout call, but great location for the strikeout there for Jordy Ball.
Here's the first pitch to the left-handed hitting catcher LaValle. A little I didn't mean to check swing foul for strike 1. LaValle against Oklahoma in Hawaii went 0 for 2. The Sooners played a rather unique series with Baylor last year, where the Bears had some COVID issues after the national championship win for the Baylor men's basketball team. Sooners went down and played on a Monday. LaValle swings through the rise. Overmatched. No balls and 2 strikes. Oklahoma swept both of those games, which were played again on a kind of a unique Monday night. Valley actually hit the ball pretty hard against the Sooners, despite going 0 for 4. She's looking for a first hit against Oklahoma. The 0-2, boy, took a little off and just missed.
Wow.
Is a little off an understatement on that, DJ?
The deception on that pitch, I got fooled from up here in the press box. No, it was, I love the location again, and LaValle was absolutely fooled. All she had to do was get that in the strike zone, and it was curtains.
The 1-2 fouled off. LaValle got a good cut.
I think we're going to see it again within the next 2 pitches. If she doesn't get her here, I think we're going to see it again.
This Baylor team has stolen 44 bases as a squad this year. They're 44 of 53 in stolen base opportunities. But as of yet, we haven't seen Watson on the move. Sooners up 3-1, top of the second. The pitch to LaValle. Just missed low and in.
And I feel like, too, I mean, because Baylor's, their power numbers are not tremendous. I think every Sooner in the starting lineup has more home runs than they have anybody on the team.
Correct.
But I think they try to make up for that with the short game and stealing bases.
Runner goes, 2-2 pitches, ball 3. The throw down is on line. On time, and they got her. What a tag by Grace Lyons. What a throw by Lindsey Elam. Glenn Moore is going to challenge it.
Yeah, Watson trying to argue that at second base.
And I want to say, too, in support of the steal there by Watson, it was an off-speed pitch. I'm curious to know if it was a called steal or if she read the off-speed and was trying to take off. I like the steal in that situation.
Looks like they're going to challenge the call.
I mean, he went right away, Glenn Moore did, to the universal sign for baseball replay, which is
headset.
Pretending like he was grabbing the ears for the headset. This is the first challenge for an opponent here at Marita Hines Field. I wish there was a little bit of an explanation to the fans what's going on here. I don't know how many fans even know that replay is in effect. In fact, we found out live on the air that replay was in effect last week when Joe Castiglione was in the booth. There we go.
Get a look at it here on our camera. And honestly,
it doesn't look like she got her.
I think Watson might be onto something here. It was the right call.
Nope, they're going to call her out. Well, and again, one of the great debates we've had in sports, okay, and this goes beyond that call. It goes back to football. It goes to NFL. It's supposed to be evidence from video that is just blatant and obvious. And sometimes we assume, well, you know, it looked like it. There didn't seem to be, at least from the angles they had, anything that could substantiate her not getting tagged. So 2 outs. Challenge stands. And there's strike 3 to end the inning. Jordy Ball bounces out of the circle with a head bob and a ton of confidence. Fun one already. 2 home runs hit, and the Sooners are on top 3-1. Gianna Johns has been rolling. .350 average for Johns. She has 7 home runs this season. Johns, with 7 home runs, takes the first pitch. Will out for ball 1. He's currently 5th on the Sooner roster in home runs, but she is 1 home run behind Baylor's home run total as a team. Baylor as a team has 8. Here's the 1-0 pitch to the Sooner third base. Bounced foul down the third baseline.
And I would be curious too. I mean, we've talked a little bit about Baylor and their power numbers or lack thereof. When I was playing not that long ago, but a long time ago, when you would go to Waco and you would scout and prepare for Baylor, you were getting prepared for short game. You were getting prepared for slappers. You were getting prepared for a different kind of ball than how the game has sort of evolved into what it is now. I'm curious to know how much of that has changed the way that Coach Moore has recruited.
1-1 pitch is one of those I didn't mean to check swings foul.
Well, you see less and less slappers.
Yes. And Baylor used to be kind of a home for that. That was their game plan.
Think of the era of like Arizona and Mike Candrea. The short game ruled the roost.
No question.
Speed, honestly, more than short game. It was how to play up speed. And we're seeing less and less of just exclusive slappers on the left side.
1-2 pitch to Johns is a hard hit ball to third. Bobbled, picked up, throws, got away. It got away from Bauer at first base. Johns is on her way to second. Lost the Evo shield, blew a tire down the first base line, and still ends up at second base. Pretty nice play by Collasos, but tough throw there, Aaron.
I'm going to take a guess this is going to be an E3.
Yeah.
Yep. Gianna Johns does a nice job of seeing that ball get past her, take an extra 60 feet.
Here comes Jada Coleman. You know, I feel like a broken record when I say she's been on a nice run, because I feel like I say it for every single hitter. But Jada Coleman has been on a nice run. Shows bunt, takes the first pitch low. She was 3 for 4 on Tuesday night against Kentucky. Didn't register an at-bat against Iowa because they walked her twice. So essentially, if you include the Houston game on Saturday night when she hit a bomb, she's 5 for her last 7 with 4 runs scored in the last 3 games. And she grounds this one back up the middle, through into center field, a base hit. Here comes Gianna Johns. They won't even try. It's 4-1 Sooners on an RBI single back up the middle from Jada Coleman.
I love to see the manufacturing of a run in the lower half of this OU lineup, coming off of the 3-run first inning, getting the 2 bombs. Now here come the Sooners in the second, taking advantage of the air, but then chipping away with a single up the middle.
They're good reps,
yes,
because you can't live and die on the long ball. And as we get later into the season, the better the pitching gets, the more elite arms that this team is going to see in the circle. They're going to have to manufacture runs just like that. Base hit up the middle of the field.
Here's the top of the lineup. Chiari bounces one to third. Only play will be to first. Another tough scoop. Good job by Bauer. And there's one away. Jade advances easily to second. It's a great topic to get into, guys, is how teams will try to start pitching the Sooners. Right in the...
Don't.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Here's Jocelyn Hollow.
Well, and how often, too, I mean, coming from a coach's standpoint, you game plan, you prepare, you try to prepare your pitchers, and many times you say, listen, here are their power numbers, here are where they're at. Pitch around or stay careful, keep these particular hitters in the yard. See a ball there, low to Alo. How do you do that when it is all through the lineup? And then not only is Alo going to take you yard, then she's going to nickel and dime you for a single and then a double off the wall. You can't pitch to it.
The 1-0 pitch to Jossie is low. I think Lauren Chamberlain said something that's really resonated with me as you take a look at the first inning. Nuke that went out of here to left field. Lauren said she's hitting bad pitches hard. And that is an incredible attribute for a hitter.
It's a sign of an amazing hitter.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. Ball 3.
Well, I have 0 pitching background, but I can tell you what I would do if I was in the circle, and this is speaking as a hitter, from a hitter's perspective. If I'm in the circle, I'm going to master 2 pitches.
Yep.
I'm going to master something slow, and I'm going to master something hard that I can spot in any count. We don't need it. It doesn't need to be cute.
Nope.
Doesn't need to be fancy. It needs to be effective. And I think with Sooners, you've got to challenge them with something that's off speed and something that you can nail in any spot in any count. I would master 2 pitches and be the best dang arm with those 2 pitches as I possibly could.
You would win a lot of games.
Yes.
You would win a lot of games with a tremendous off speed and 1 pitch that you can pull out of your pocket and put it wherever you want.
Here's the 3-0 pitch, well outside, ball 4.
I think just simplifying. It's so easy, Chris, and because you watch it, I mean, you are the voice of OU softball. You watch it all the time. It's so easy for an opponent to look at this lineup and go, oh my gosh, this is a huge bite I'm going to have to take. This is a lot I'm going to have to chew. I think just simplifying it.
Because it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's Grace Lyons steps to the plate. Lyons, by the way, takes ball 1. Lyons was in the midst of an 18-game hitting streak. And to kind of tell you the type of player that Grace Lyons is, she had an opportunity in an 0-for-3 game to get 1 more at bat. She was pinch hit for. Actually, she was 0-for-1 with a couple walks. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Soft roller to second. Could be 2 to second for 1. Grace beats it out at first. Easy. Jocelyn is forced out at second. Lyons reaches on the fielder's choice. So her bases reached streak is still intact. But what did she do after, she ended up not getting that extra bat? They pinch hit. Lou Donahue came in and got a base hit. Big moment for Lou. So all that Grace Lyons has done since her inning streak came to an end is go 5 for her last 12 with 2 4-6, 7 runs scored, 4 RBI, and 3 home runs. I mean, face a little adversity, have an 18-game hitting streak in, and you go up and just start hitting bombs. 2 outs here for Lindsay Ely. Speaking of hitting bombs, she launched one out of here in the first inning. First pitch and first strike.
Does anyone want to make a bet for 7 for 7?
Let's do it.
Come on.
All right,
She's on fire. Now, she had a couple of at-bats where she didn't homer against Kentucky. So technically, the 5 straight ended, in a 2-for-4 game. But when you go 2-for-4, and
We don't need the
we don't need
technicalities.
stats. The 0-1 off the bat.
We
I
need
thought,
the drama, Chris.
that's fouled
Come
off.
on.
I thought off the bat, she hit a ball on Saturday. This is her home run from back in the first inning. Bomb.
That was huge.
She hit one on Friday in Oklahoma City. That was a true wind-defeated shot. That ball got up, and on any normal day, it was long gone on Friday, and it hit a wall of wind and came right down. Should have another. The 0-2 is lifted deep down the left field line, but well fouled.
I'm antsy up here, guys. I'm getting jumpy.
We're going to end up with bruises from the... Is it going?
I'm well away from you guys. I moved over well to the left. I learned my lesson. Put it right out there in left center field in the Papio. I think Andrea Gasso have to make a play on this one.
She can too.
She would.
Behind 0-2 though. Elam's ready. The pitch up high, 1-2. Sooners have runners at first and third here with 2 outs. An RBI single from Jada Coleman.
I have to say, I'm not up here calling pitches, but if I am Orem, I am changing speeds here. You have to do something to distort Lindsey Elam's timing.
She is absolutely on another level right now. The 1-2 bounce towards third. It's going to be a tough play. The throw across, though, gets Elam and ends the inning. More welcome than it was last Friday. We'll get our Trails weather report after the first pitch here to Casey West in the third inning, and she fouls it off. It is currently in Norman 64 degrees outside. Last week when we had our first pitch at 6:30, which was a little bit delayed, it was 20 degrees outside. It was cold. Tonight, 53 degrees in Norman. Absolutely gorgeous. Definitely need a hoodie at some point tonight, but gorgeous sunset as the 0-1 pitch misses low. 4-1 Sooners. We're in the top of the third inning. Along with DJ Sanchez and Aaron Miller, I'm Chris Plank. Third inning shout-outs coming up. Hit us up. Let us know where you're watching and listening from tonight at OU on the Air. That's at OU on the Air. I already see several of you checking in. As the 1-ball, 1-strike pitch from Jordy Ball is headed home. Swing and miss.
I can see my father in the stands with earbuds on, listening to us in the stands.
Well, there's the first. Randy Miller checking in from here at the ballpark. That's one of my favorite things is how many people are able to listen while they're here.
So looking down and saying, oh, I see earbuds.
Exactly.
Swing and miss for the 4th strikeout of the game by Jordy Ball. 3rd straight. And there is one away. Here's Mackenzie Wilson, the leadoff hitter.
Jordy Ball pulling out the off speed. We're going to see it more again as she goes through this lineup a second time. I think we're going to start seeing Jordy Ball change speeds, mix up those setups a little bit.
There's Mackenzie Wilson has the only hit. Takes the first pitch for a strike. Yeah, as she gains more experience, and she's thrown a lot when you think about her travel ball teams, Nebraska Gold, and the success that they had. But she's still learning how to be a pitcher, right, DJ? Right, Aaron?
Yeah. I think one full season under the belt.
One pitch is
one postseason under the belt. I mean, Plank, think about the growth you've seen. How many years have you been with us? 6?
Your senior year was my first year, 16.
So you are a witness to the evolution of an arm once living through a postseason
absolutely
performance.
It's a whole different world. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Jordy Ball points the glove back at Lindsey Elam. And the only player that's had a hit off her, she bounces back with a strikeout, 2 away.
Jordy Ball is getting better as the game goes on. I know, I'm sorry. It's just, we're seeing her start to settle in a little bit, and it looks good. She looks sharp.
Taylor Strain grounded out to third. Short her last time up. There's a ground ball foul.
Somebody that comes to mind for me with postseason evolution is Nicole May.
Yep.
Great example.
Thinking
Super
about
regional last year.
Oh my goodness. I mean, the performance, the clutchness that she was able to pull together when this team needed it the most, that was growth. And that is experience that you stick in the back pocket, you build off of.
We'll see Nicole May here tomorrow as the 0-1 pitch is lined deep to right center field. Bounces off the wall. Alo gets it back in quickly, but it's a 2-out double for Taylor Strain. Left that one up just a bit, DJ.
Yeah, you know, and we are seeing, just as I'm saying, she looks sharp. She looks sharp. She's hitting her spots. A little bit of a miss there, and Strain made her pay. But the beauty of it is you are walking into this, 2 outs, runner in scoring position, go back to work.
I think you also got to give a hats off to Strain of seeing 2 of her teammates before her, couple Ks, and taking a different approach.
First pitch to Koyasos is up high. Ball 1.
Looking back at the first 2 innings of Baylor, they were aggressive. They were successful with the aggressiveness at the plate. Strain sees the 2 teammates before her go down swinging and she adjusts. That's high IQ hitting right there.
Try something different here, you guys. That's essentially what she said. And it worked. The 1-0 is bounced foul. All right, you ready for a stat?
Yes.
Baylor has a runner in scoring position. It's the second time today, essentially, that they've had a runner in scoring position. And as I lay this stat out, I don't want to jinx anything, but I want to get it out here before it becomes old news. Opponents are 0 for their last 27 at the plate with a runner in scoring position against Sooner pitching. The last team that had a hit against the Sooners with a runner in scoring position, Baylor. They won't do it again here as the pop-up. Oh! Nearly a fantastic play by Lindsey Elam. They'll still have a chance. 0 for 27 against the Sooners with runners in scoring position recently. In fact, Baylor had 1, and they were just 1 for 2. Minnesota had 1. They were 1 for 4. Sooners seem to get a little bit more fiery when you see a runner in scoring position like Jordy Ball here. The 1-2 popped up behind home plate. Is there room for Elam? There is. Make it 0 for 28. First pitch of the bottom of the 3rd inning with the Sooners on top 4-1 as Taylon Snow digs in. Back to work, another inning for Diana Orm, and there's a ground ball towards second. Nice backhand by West, but throws it away. Nieners will stay at first base. Nieners is, well, let's see what they roll this. I would have her 2 for 2, but I am not the official scorer. That is up to our man Patrick Dunn, and we'll wait for the official rule. But as this is the 3rd inning, it's brought to you by Physical, spelled different because we are different. They rule it an error.
I think the ball went in the dugout on the overthrow.
Oh, they did. So they're going to give her second base. Good call. Physical, spelled different because we are different, and the Sooner Trophy Club, Soonersports.com/Trophy Club. Because now well, the program just isn't the same. Hear from a lot of people as Kinsey Hansen digs in. First pitch is a little low for ball 1. So Snow gets second base on the overthrow. I was sitting here staring at the official ruling. Hansen, by the way, grounded out her first time up to second. They're going to rule it a single and advance to second on the overthrow. So 5th hit of the game for the Sooners. Hansen takes the 1-0 pitch low, ball 2.
You know, for Baylor right now, this game is still in striking distance. We haven't seen a lot of production from Baylor offensively off of ball, but this game is in striking distance. Baylor is going to have to stay clean. We've seen a couple of mishaps, a couple of overthrown balls, so they're going to have to stay clean if they want this game to stay in striking distance.
Time is called. Heard from Levi Alo. Alo family tuned in tonight.
Levi.
That family is fired up.
Hey, I'm excited to see the interviews he did with ESPN.
Oh, 2-0 nearly hit Kinsey, by the way. They were great.
From Palm Springs,
They were great. He said for Lindsay's next home run, when I text her dad, I call her the pride of Chickasha. There it is.
There we go.
It fits. Love it. Levi, I'm going to trademark that and use it nonstop. I'll give you credit every time. Three balls and no strikes. With a runner at second and nobody out. The pitch Called strike on a pitch that was low. James and Cindy Frisbee have checked in from Billings, Montana tonight. Will you wish a shout out, a happy birthday to Eric Blossom, please? Happy birthday, Eric. What a way to spend your birthday, right? Watching Sooner softball. Can't think of a better way. 3 balls and a strike. The pitch, low and in, ball 4. Hansen reaches. See if Hansen runs here, or maybe see a Hannah Core pinch run here. Yeah. JT Gasso pops out of the dugout with Alyssa Brito. Well, looks like they're going to let her run. So Hansen will stay in and run. That's a story in and of itself in my mind.
It's positive. That's a good thing.
Time positive. 4-1 Sooners. Brito looking to blow this game open. Takes the first pitch for a strike. I'll hit a few more of your shout-outs after this Brito at bat. See you. Appreciate it. Can't help you with what channel the game's on, but appreciate you trying to find us. I become the sounding board for everyone who's angry. I love you all. Here's the no ball, 1 strike pitch to Brito. A little low and away. 1-1. Brito, her last time up, grounded out to second. One ball, 1 strike. First and second. Hansen at first. Snow at second. Jana Johns waits on deck. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 3rd. The 1-1. Little up. 2 balls and a strike.
The way Brito takes pitches is scary. It's scary. The lower body trigger, like her strength is on display every single pitch, even if she doesn't pull the trigger.
2 balls and a strike. Boy, what a hitter's count here for Brito. The pitch, ball 3, misses up.
And there's that take again, and going back to, we've talked about this earlier in the game, the little things that are important. The way that you take pitches, it shows your approach at the plate.
Yeah.
Brito takes strong takes. She is yes, 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 no, and you can see it in every single take, every single swing.
I call it the active take.
Yes.
The active take, I like that. The 3-1 to Brito. Ground ball to second. This will move everyone over. Easy play for West to get it to first. But almost, if I could use this analogy, it looked like it was a broken bat hit.
Yeah,
the
right
way
off
it
the
came
end of the
off the end of
barrel.
her bat.
Yeah.
Here's Jana Johns, reached on that error in the second, ended up scoring a run on the RBI single from from Jada Coleman. Waits on deck. Second and third, 1 out. The pitch, that shot foul off the net.
You can feel the stands waiting, right? Like you literally can feel that energy of, okay, who's gonna bust this thing wide open? Because it's gonna happen any pitch.
It's almost as if you look at the lineup and you say, okay, we went an inning without a home run.
Right.
Give me my home run, Jana Johns. The 0-1 is a little up. 1 ball, 1 strike.
What a life the Sooner fans get to live. No one else in the country gets to live that life.
We say it with love.
Yes.
Because we feel the same way. It's like, all right, Jana, let's go.
Where are the bombs? Where are the strikeouts?
Sooners already have 2 home runs. They both came in the first inning. 1 from Elam, 1 from Jocelyn Allo. The 1-1 pitch to Johns is pop fouling out of play.
Well, I think, I'm a sponsorship brain, right? I'm like, okay, any other program you'd think, okay, well, whoever's on home runs, maybe you're going to get a couple plugs here and there. Yeah, not with OU. That's the hottest asset on the card right now is who can sponsor the home run ball.
I should have a lifelong gift card from Whataburger.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch to the Sooner third baseman. Tried to check her swing. Did she? Yes. Well, it was Minnesota when she got caught with that check swing that was called a strike 3. And I think it happened again to her.
It was Minnesota.
It was Minnesota. I think it happened again to her on the Saturday night in Houston. Against Houston, excuse me, here in Oklahoma City. That's an active take, kind of how you put it. The 2-ball, 2-strike pitch to Jana Johns. Bounce to third. Oh, we're going to have a rundown between home and third. LaValle chasing back Snow. Well, now Taylor runs well out of the baseline, but Jana Johns is able to trot into second base. They tag out Snow. And Aaron Miller, that's something this team works on. Constant.
Do they? I can remember running that second and third play probably, I don't even know how many times. A couple thousand?
Oh, it's been going on for decades.
Yes.
Decades.
Literally. One more. Just one more, Coach. Just one more. One more.
Yep.
50 later. But perfectly executed.
That's right.
Yep. For situations like that. You force the defense to make the toughest out, which is the rundown. You allow Jana Johns to get to second base, and you're back in the same position.
You count on Jada Coleman to get you a 2-out hit. She takes the first one low. She drove in a run with a single in the second inning. That season average for Jada Coleman is continuing to climb and climb and climb. She is up to 397. And is hitting 375 this season with runners in scoring position. The 1-0 is outside. Now, I brought up the stat about the last 27 at-bats, now making, 28. Opponents are 0 for their last 28 against the Sooners with a runner in scoring position. Oklahoma heading into tonight was 42 of its last 97 with a runner in scoring position over the last 9 games. Just 97 opportunities. The 2-0 misses outside, ball 3.
Okay, statistician over
Yes. I'm sitting here doing the
more.
math in my head.
Right.
I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Of all the stats that you've laid eyes on this year,
Yep.
there's a lot of them
Sure.
when it comes to this team. Is there one that just makes your eyeballs pop out of your head?
Yes,
What?
absolutely.
Give it to me.
I'll tell you after this 3-0 pitch, which is ball 4 and the bases are loaded. Here it
Give
is.
the people what they want.
It is the fact that Oklahoma as a team has hit 72 home runs, and their opponents have hit 5 against them.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay. I'll
Valid.
buy that.
I'll
think
take it.
Personally, I think the run roll stat is
I love that. That was
Yep.
that was a Patrick Dunn special.
ridiculous. 22 of the 26 wins
Yep.
have been run rolls.
Yep.
You and Destiny did the math. How many games does that equate to?
I think she came up with 7.
Yes.
games.
Good Lord.
It's unreal.
That's
Bases
crazy.
loaded here for Tiare Jennings. First pitch to Tiare is low for home. I also like the walk stat, too.
Yeah.
That's the other one that is pretty incredible. Now, I haven't done the math with tonight's walks, but the Sooners as a team have been walked 137 times and have only walked 38 batters.
That's my favorite stat. I claim that one.
Pitcher brain over here.
The 1-0 pitch to Jennings. Ooh, caught the upper edge of the strike zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. With the excitement of the last few plays, we've fallen behind on our shout-outs. Thankfully, they're evergreen. So we'll get to you. Appreciate you guys tuned in all across the country, from Washington, Oklahoma, up to Broken Arrow. Out to Washington, D.C. and Hawaii. The 1-1. Low and in, 2 balls and a strike. Even my mom and family watching in Wood River, Illinois tonight.
How badly do you think, if Jennings doesn't do it herself here, do you think this crowd wants to see Jocelyn Allo at the plate with bases loaded?
I tell you what, they might not pitch to her if that happens. As the sun sets beyond the left field wall, the 2-1 is hammered deep to right field and over the head of Rocky Kalmas and Joe C. in that right center field podium, and Tiare Jennings with a grand salami. A grand slam, a 4-bagger with 4 runs attached. Are you kidding me? It's 8-1 Sooners.
Cue up the Whataburger.
Wow.
You said it, Aaron. If she doesn't do it herself, and then boom, like clockwork.
Wow, watch it. Boom.
Here's what impresses me the most about that hit. That ball was a curveball in the outer half of the plate, and she didn't roll over it. Any other player, me included, would have got up there chomping at the bits to smash something, yanked their head, and rolled over that curveball, and she waited on it. She saw it deep in her stance, and she went Oppo Taco, baby. That's hard to do.
It's discipline.
That is
Man,
hard
it's
to do.
discipline.
Tiare Jennings, make sure, 11th home run on the season. And we're going to have a pitching change. Offense 8-1 after a grand slam home run empties the bases from Tiare Jennings. Now here's Jocelyn Up, homered her last time up. Judish in 16 innings so far this season has allowed just 15 hits. The overall ERA is at 2.62. She is 1-0 on the season. Righty brings home the 1-0, and that just misses. Had a nice outing this past weekend against Tarleton State. 2 innings she allowed a hit, but hadn't pitched in over 3 weeks. Her prior appearance to the Tarleton game was on March 1st against Prairie View A&M. 8-1 Sooners, bottom of the third. The 2-0 is low for ball 3.
So I'm anticipating a walk here to Alo. I'm going to get on my soapbox here for 1 second.
Go ahead. It'll be the second walk of the night.
It's 8-1. You are in run rule territory. I understand it, but compete.
Yeah.
Compete. Make her hit the ball out of the yard.
There's ball 4, by the way.
And that's just me coming from a coach's standpoint, a pitcher standpoint. There's nothing better in the world than competition and to get out there and to go toe-to-toe with the best. 8-1, I get it, sort of. This isn't, you don't let your best hitter beat you, but it's 8-1.
I'm still triggered from Cal's 8-0, nobody on base, intentional walk. Still triggered.
Compete.
Here's Grace Lyons. 2 outs, runner at first, 8-1 Sooners. The first pitch to Lyons is low for ball. The Twitter feed at Run Rule Territory tweets at us and said, did somebody mention my name? Well, up 7, we are in Run Rule realm, I guess is a term that we can start using, is everyone's going to come together at the circle and at the second base bag to try to regroup. Texas Okie at San Antonio tonight. Granny Karen down in St. Cloud, Florida. Susie and Hunter in Broken Arrow. Doug Hamilton up in PA tonight.
What's up, Broken Arrow?
St. Louis, the McGinnis family watching OU softball in St. Louis. Norman transplants. Red Leverage out in New York. Meetings are over. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Lyons. Off that lower edge. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lyons, by the way, is 0 for 2. Grounded out to third in the first, reached on a fielder's choice in the second. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lindsey Elam waits on deck. The 1-1 pitch hangs up high to him.
And Judas, much like what we saw coming from Orm, a lot going on. Big movements. There's not a lot of velocity coming from Judas, but there's a lot going on with her body movements, the way that she delivers each of her pitches.
2-1.
It's a direct different than Orm. I mean, direct different. This is all spin. Judas is all spin. You see a lot of deception in her RPMs.
Yes.
While Orm was all gas.
Yes.
All gas, no brakes.
Now, from watching their body mechanics, they're both a little jerky.
Ground ball to third. Now passed into left field, a base hit. Looked for a moment like Oyasos might have a play on it, but she took 1 step, and that thing rocketed right by her. She couldn't even get her glove out. Chalk up hit number 7 for the Sooners, and Lindsey Elam is the 9th batter to step to the plate this inning.
Well, you walk Alo, you give up a base hit to Lyons, and now you got to face Elam.
Yep. And again, I still go back to the Alo walk.
Yeah.
Make her take you yard. I just throw your best at her. And so what? She hits a double. She's staying on second anyway.
Yep. Here's Elam. She's already homered tonight and takes the first pitch inside on that corner for strike 1. Homered in the first, grounded out to third in the second inning. A .364 average now for Elam, who has also driven in 25 runs, 10 home runs already this season. The 0-1 swing and miss. She had a cut.
That's one of those, I'm fooled, I'm going to take a hack and swing straight through it
I'm
and
gonna
call
wear
it
it
what it is.
Wear it.
The 0-2 count with the Sooners up 8-1. Chickasha product, super senior, digs in. Runners at first and second. The pitch, well outside. Saw that one coming a little early. The 10 home runs for Lindsey Elam this season is just 2 shy of her career high for a season when she hit 12 in the entirety of the 21 campaign. The 1-2 pitch, all too low. The runs batted in. Now, again, a little bit of work to do there. But she has already surpassed her RBI number from the 2020 season. Now, again, a season that was cut short, obviously due to COVID, on the 2019 season when she pretty much took over as the regular starter. 3-year captain, Lindsey Elam. The 2-2, off speed. Fooled her, called strike 3, inning over. As Lou Donahue has checked in left field. And Riley Boone is in out in right. As Aaliyah Binford leads things off and takes the first pitch for a strike. 8-1 Sooners. We're in the top of the 4th inning. A grand slam home run by Tiare Jennings is the difference in this game so far. A solo shot from Lindsey Elam, a 2-run shot from Jocelyn Allo. The 0-1. Grounded back to ball, 1 away. Made that look easy. Binford's 0 for 2. Here's Josie Bauer.
Talking about making it look easy. We've talked so much about Jordy Ball's demeanor in the circle and what she does. I was a pitcher. This is not a knock on pitchers in any way, shape, or form, but sometimes pitchers defensively look surprised or look out of sorts when the ball is hit back to them. Jordy Ball, again, going back to just being an athlete and the way that she carries herself out there. Anything hit back to her, you don't hold your breath.
That's definitely a thing.
Yes.
I mean, that is a thing that pitchers have to deal with, and I'm telling you that is something. This one fouled right off the hand.
They're going to send her to first base. Those are always tough calls, by the way.
Well, because by the rule book, your hand is an extension of the bat.
Right.
And you don't see it called correctly very often.
Jen Rocha. And here goes Patty Gasso. Jen Rocha is on the top step of the dugout. Now all the umpires are going to get together before Patty Gasso can even get to the home plate umpire.
Well, I want to go back to the point we were making
yes.
in the circle. We got time here. That, I guarantee you, DJ, is something that both Jen Rocha, as the pitching coach here of the staff, and Coach Gasso, who takes major pride in her defense. You were a pitcher here, you know. There is an expectation,
as there should be,
for a pitcher on this field to field her position and be athletic in the circle. And you saw that on display with Jordy Ball.
That is near and dear to my heart. Athletic pitchers taking care of business.
So they're going to challenge this.
Yeah.
How about that? That's how.
2 challenges in 1 game.
Oh, let's go.
How special are we?
So here's another look. What do you see here, Aaron?
That's definitely the hand, and I think it's a foul ball. If it's not the hand, it's the end of the bat.
That's, you can see the pain. The one thing that I will say that we were talking about this a lot, I want to say maybe during Friday's game, was if you're hit or there's any question, sell it, right? It's like you better shake that hand and get down to first base if you feel like it's the only way you're going to get a base run. I don't know how you overturn this.
I don't think you can.
Right?
I'm looking.
I think the biggest thing they need to figure out is, did it hit the wrist? Did it hit the forearm? Because by the rules, the hand is part of the bat.
As it should be.
Right.
Spoken like a true pitcher.
Hey, a couple of quick shout-outs. I appreciate Kelly Stover and her family listening. Happy birthday to her grandfather, Fane, longtime OU softball fan, OU class of 1966.
That's amazing.
All right.
Happy
Also,
birthday,
I love
Fane.
that name, Fane. That's
Yes.
a really cool name.
F-A-Y-N-E. And Emily Snook listening in. Cinderelling on the TV. So in other words, she's watching her kids. So Cinderella on the TV and listening to the game with the AirPods. We're going to say the hit by pitch will stand. So both coaches 0 for 2 in their challenges tonight. 0 for 1 for Glenn Moore, 0 for 1 for Patty Gasso, and we'll see a pinch runner here for Baylor. It's Caroline Rowett, the pinch run here.
I'm not going to talk about it anymore,
Go ahead.
but I still stand by anything that any ball that changes directions that drastically from hitting a hand. I don't think it's happening.
Yeah, first
That's
pitch, Anna
actually
Watson is fouled back.
A good, I didn't even clue in on that. Like the ricochet
Yep.
would be, by definition, a foul ball.
Especially as hard as Jordy Ball throws.
Yeah.
No balls and a strike. Watson reached on a walk and then was thrown out stealing, which coincidentally was the last challenge we had on the tag at second base. No balls and a strike. Ball brings it home. Caught that outside corner, 0-2. Ball takes a look back over and throw at the pinch runner. What a night. It's 8-1 Sooners. We're in the top of the fourth inning. The 0-2, fouled back. Watson gets a piece of it.
It's a good cut.
Watson, one of those players that you kind of start looking up and down on the numbers for the Baylor roster. And like we said, a bit of a frustrating season, I'm sure, for some. But it's just you look at her numbers and for the production that she's had at 257, she seems like she's swinging much better than a hitter with a 257 average. And she takes the 0-2 pitch outside. Strikeouts have been up for her this season. She struck out 12 times, has only walked once. But Glenn Morris stayed with her. Of the 28 games so far, she started 25 of them. And this is the 28th game that she's played in. So she's played in, I think, actually 27. All but one game so far this season. And here's the 1-2 pitch to Anna Watson. Bounce back to the circle. Ball will go to second for one. No chance at first. Man, I love the enthusiasm of Jada Coleman in center field. When she saw Jordy Ball make the play to get the force out, she immediately gave a big jump in the air and a fist pump.
Well, that'll tell you what the expectation is.
The double play.
And they're selling, they're going to celebrate that because they know that's the expectation on this dirt. And I would argue that the opportunity that Jordy Ball had to get that out at third base earlier this
Took
game
the words out of my mouth.
Was discussed.
Kendall Cross, the left-handed hitting DP, takes the first pitch up and in for ball one.
When you could see, too, the thought process, she fielded that ball open, ready to fire to second. There was no, I'm going to try to get the play at second. It was open. I am fielding that all ready to fire. Again, you don't see that all the time from pitchers, let alone a freshman pitcher.
1-0, runner fakes going. Jordy falls behind 2 on a pitch that was low and away. That is an outstanding point. Still have those moments where you're like, she's a freshman.
Yep.
She's this good. I was going back and watching the Kentucky game. This ball brings home the 2-0 pitch. That caught the outside corner 2-1, and I was almost mad at myself listening to it. I'm like, why are you getting so upset by these errors? She's a freshman. She's going to make mistakes. And then you realize you're not used to seeing what is typical for most freshmen from Jordy Ball. That's how good she's been. Across the Friendswood, Texas product, fourth-year player, a senior. That's the 2-1 foul.
I think that's something we're going to speak about at nauseum this season, is the fact that she's a freshman. You brought up Kalani earlier, Aaron, and you think about at times the lumps that she took. I was around for her freshman season as a GA. Seeing at times her take lumps that she was not used to. Kalani threw hard. She was filthy coming in here as a freshman. She had great stuff. 2-2
pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. 6th strikeout of the game for Jordy Ball. Ends any threat in the fourth. We Sunday at noon. Kincaid Coach Lines, the official motor coach carrier of OU Athletics. First pitch is a little up to Taylon Snow. Nieners is 2 for 2 on the night. Nieners the nickname. We still don't know why or how it became her nickname. Apparently, as the old wives' tale goes, her sister started calling her that, and it just stuck. The 1-0 pitch is outside for ball 2. She has had one heck of a season. And it's wild because you think about...
You apply pressure, it's hard to defend. a late break with West at second base. She was kind of leaning towards second base, covering the runner in motion, and that allowed just enough time, I think, for Boone to leg that out.
We're going to review this. I don't think this is a good challenge by Glenn Moore. And again, where he's bang down on the, I mean, that's not even close.
She's past the bag almost before that ball was secured and in the web.
Yeah, I mean, great job by our EVS tonight, our replay guru.
I'm with you. I'm surprised Glenn Moore has even challenged
his
it.
last challenge.
Because in live speed, you could see it. It was clearly safe.
I don't think, and again, we need to get Toby Baldwin up here. Our administrator for softball is knee-deep in the rules. Jack Bennett, by the way, great job on replay. That was fantastically quick. We didn't need to look at that very much. When they said, I don't think our first base umpire tonight, Brandon Blom, even had to say, do you have another angle of that? I think it was, all right, we got this. Let's go back to work. So Glenn Moore is out of challenges.
So I have a question for both of you on this. Challenges you get two no matter what, even if it's overturned.
That's right.
Do you think that the challenge should get given back if the play gets overturned?
I do. And I wonder if that's not something they'll evaluate across the board. First pitch to the new left fielder, Lou Donahue, is up high, ball one. It's a really good question. And I also, I was talking about getting Toby in here because I don't know if the umpires have the discretion where they can say, hey, let's go look at the replay. And I hope that's something that they can do as well. You know, say, hey, listen, that's kind of tight. You saw this, I saw that. Let's go look at it. I think that's a good piece to have. The 1-0 to Lou is in for a strike.
Well, and it goes back to what's the goal? Is the goal to get it right? Because if the goal is always to get it right, then what you're suggesting, Plank, I think is necessary.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad we're all on the same page with this. Just hire us to take care of this NCAA. That ball skipped before it got to the plate.
It's a polarizing
2 balls and a strike.
topic. So it's a very polarizing topic.
You know, at some point this weekend, Aaron, you're with us tomorrow, right?
Yes.
But not with us on Sunday. You're with me all weekend. We're going to have an illegal pitch conversation at some point this weekend. DJ Sanchez is all kinds of fired up.
I've been fired up about it all week.
She's mad at me. Here's the 2-ball, 1-strike pitch.
I'm never mad at Plank.
I get fired up about the obstruction call at home plate.
Valid. Yes.
That's a big one. I'm big on the illegal pitches now that I've started to learn more about it. But I still have a lot more to learn because apparently there's different illegal calls, pitches at different levels. 2-2, bounce to short. This is going to be a tough play. They're not going to have a play. We'll bid for it anyway. She'll hold the ball, not make a throw. Smart infield single. And the bases are loaded. Jim Gasso, Poppy, my agent right-hand man, has confirmed that umpires can review any play they want at any time.
Thank you.
So
Yes.
Jim Gasso on it.
As it should be.
Yeah, we got close. Inford realized the speedy Donahue. Only thing that could happen with that throw is something bad, and Aaliyah wise enough to not risk it. And we'll see Grace Green get an opportunity. By the way, for Lou Donahue now, after a stretch where she was 2 for her last 8, 2 for her last 10, excuse me. She's now 3 for her last 4. So good to see Lou starting to click. Bases loaded for Grace Green. First pitch to Grace Green is up and in, ball 1.
Another one of those topics, I don't know if you saw this, DJ, was the collision. I can't remember who Alabama was playing, but at first base.
I think it was Kentucky.
It was Kentucky.
I think it was Kentucky.
Super dangerous collision at first base that brought up the topic of the safety bag at first.
Here's the 1-0 pitch to Green. Tried to check her swing. Don't think she did. Called strike.
And that is another, you start talking about safety bag and women's college softball, you're going to have some people fired up.
You will.
Yeah.
Again, what's the goal?
And again,
what's the goal? Safety or optics?
You talk to everybody and you ask that question, they're going to say safety.
Yeah.
Right?
And then do something completely opposite. 1-1 to Green, falls in for a strike, the ball and 2 strikes. That batting average for Grace Green is incredibly unfair for as well as she's hit the softball this year. 200 average, but She has walked 6 times in her 21 plate appearances and has hit 2 home runs. She bats here with the bases loaded and nobody out. 8-1 Sooners. The pitch outside, 2-2.
Back into the situation. I know we had the leadoff walk, but we've seen 2 infield hits, bases loaded in a run rule territory situation. I want to see the everyone wants to see the grand slam. We'd love to see it too, but the manufactured runs.
Bounced foul. See frustration on Grace Screen walking away from that. Two balls, 2 strikes. The Sooners have loaded the bases on a walk and 2 infield singles. Snow stands at third. The 2-2. To the backstop. Here comes Kaylin Snow. The shovel not in time. She scores on the wild pitch to make it 9-1 Sooners. Ball got just through the 5-hole of LaValle. There's not a ton of room. And that ball hit, kind of died on the backstop.
It's just a good read, no hesitation. I mean,
None.
anytime you see someone get thrown out on that.
3-2, Looper on the infield. Easy play for West, and there's 1 away. But you were saying?
Yeah,
DJ?
no, just the no hesitation. There's been so many times I've seen runners thrown out on a wild pitch pass ball because they kind of, am I going to go, am I going to go? And they take 2 steps and stop. Great read by Taylor Snow, just taking off immediately.
So here is the first regular season at bat in Marina Heinz Fields for Sophia Nugent. Before I say that, let me make sure she didn't bat against Minnesota. Nugent made the first start of her collegiate career against the Hawaii Rainbow Wahine and hit a home run in her first at bat. It was the first hit of her collegiate career, and she takes a strike. Nugent came in and caught whenever they played Minnesota, but did not get a plate appearance. So yes, my prediction stands. Though since her hit against Hawaii, her home run, she's 0 for her last 3, but did drive in a run with a sac fly. She bounces this one off her side. No balls and 2 strikes. Athletic, can play a couple positions. She's going to talk with Patty Gasso here. It's got to be an exciting moment, Aaron.
It's a huge moment.
Yeah.
I think back to my first few opportunities in an OU uniform, and when you get those opportunities, boy, do they mean a ton. And I think about what it means on the coaching side. I mean, you can speak from the coaching side. You hand over an opportunity like this, and you want to see what they make of it.
And there are so many times you take a bat off the bench cold. Being a pinch hitter is one of the toughest situations to be put in. But what comes of it? There are so many hitters who make their way into a lineup because of what they have done with the given opportunities.
0-2 pitch is up and away.
And I think the mark of a good pinch hitter, one that's ready, is one that comes and is not afraid to take a hack on the first pitch.
Yep.
You don't have to wait until you see a strike. Get after it.
But speaking of a hitter that gets after it, Tria Coleman has moved into the on-deck circle. She'll attack a pitch early. The 1-2 pitch, grounded foul down the third base line. And you're 26 games in with a group of freshmen that haven't got to play a lot, right? Now they're starting to get a little bit more confidence, right? Now they're starting to get to that point where, okay, this is starting to make a little more sense. This is a learning season for Sophia Nugent, Tria Coleman, Quincy Lilio, Anna Court. They're afforded the opportunity to learn because of the returning talent this team has. And Nugent wants time.
Well, let's talk about too. You can play at the highest level. Aaron, you played at the highest level in travel ball.
Mm-hmm.
As did I. As did every Baylor OU player out here. The speed of the game is different.
Yeah, the urgency is different.
The speed of the game is different. And it takes time for a freshman to recognize that, to understand that.
1-2 pitch, bounced, foul again.
Well, we keep talking about some of the detriments of having 22 run rules on the season in territory of 23.
Yeah.
Here is one silver lining of that, is that when you get a lead with that size, you've got more area. Coach Gasso and her staff have a little more area to test drive some new faces.
Good point. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Second and third with 1 out in the 4th. 9-1 Sooners. The pitch is grounded to third. They're going to come home with it. Little rundown for Riley Boone. She's got some speed. She's going to slide back into the bag and get tagged out as Nugent slides into second. So take me through that rule there. At no point is Donahue supposed to start heading back to second to make it interesting, or is it just, could it be complete chaos, Aaron?
Well, you saw a little bit of the newbie mentality right there, and DJ is over here just like her skin's crawling, but it was the correct call. And
Right.
we saw this earlier in the game. You want to force the defense to make the toughest out, which means get in the rundown, force them to make a play at home plate. When that rundown is initiated, Nugent has to be on her A game. She's got to look at the first base coach.
Yeah.
She's got to have the heads up so she can take those extra 60 feet to second base.
She waited a little too long,
She
didn't
waited a little. It was a little scary for a second.
I was up here waving.
Yeah, gone.
All right, here's Taria Coleman. Young, talented, versatile, left-handed hitting. You name it, she can play it. Takes the first pitch for a strike. And she swings hard. Her first hit of her collegiate career came in her home state of Houston. Saturday afternoon against the Cougars, went 1-for-1, drove in a run and scored her. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Coleman. Cut, fouls it back. I think between Coleman, Sophia Nugent, and Jordy Ball, all 3 freshmen, their first hit was also an RBI. Nugent's first hit as a Sooner was the home run in Hawaii. Obviously drove in a couple runs. Coleman's first hit drove in a run in Houston. Jordy Ball's first hit against Hawaii drove in a run, so making the most of it.
I love it too. I mean, you're talking about all of these firsts and these storylines. I feel like we are writing the script for a feel-good sports movie.
The 0-2 pitch to Coleman is a slow roller to the circle. Nice play by Judish. Shovels to first and ends to the 4th for the Sooners. OU 3 outs away from another run rule win as we head to the 5th. Sooners softball on top, 9-1 over Baylor from GMC dealers. To the 5th, it is 9-1 Sooners. And in Audrey LaValle's spot, Ashley Walkendorf is going to hit here and takes the first pitch low and away for ball 1. 9 runs on 9 hits for the Sooners, a run on 2 hits and an error for the Baylor Bears. Walkendorf, the freshman, from the left side of the plate, takes the 1-0 pitch for a strike. Sooners look well on their way to 27-0 on the season. They can get 3 outs here without allowing a run. Well, at least for now, they would chalk up yet another run rule win. Their 23rd, 1-1, swing and a miss, strike 2. Should add they would have another opportunity to score at the bottom of the 5th inning, but
The way Jordy Ball is dealing tonight, I don't know if that's going to be in the cards.
it's a fair point. Ball and 2 strikes. Jordy Ball in a word dealing this evening. As the 1-2 pitch from Ball, swing and a miss, unfair. Jordy Ball, strikeout number 7 in 4 1/3. 1 away.
Again, that location, Baylor is yet to adjust throughout this game. Low and away, great spot by Jordy Ball.
5th innings this season brought to you by Coca-Cola. No matter your favorite meal, it'll pair perfectly with a Coca-Cola. First pitch is in for a strike to Casey West, a strikeout victim her last time. 2 Baylor hits. A 2-out double by Taylor Strain in the 3rd, and a leadoff single by Mackenzie Wilson. No balls and a strike to Casey West. Came inside, stood for ball one. We have so much to talk about this weekend with Jordy and this pitching staff. I can't wait for fans to see Nicole May, who likely would pitch tomorrow. We'll see. The 1-1 from Ball is bounced off the leg of West, and that hurt. Temperature starting to cool a little bit. That looked like it stung.
You know, and something that this has been on my mind all week, knowing this series was coming up with Jordy Ball being a freshman. I know we've said that over and over. Everyone knows she's a freshman. But one of the biggest adjustments that I remember being a freshman was getting into Big 12 play and facing the same lineup back to back.
1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. The second strikeout of the inning. Third straight, 8th of the game, and the Sooners are 1 out away from yet another run rule win.
Well, on your point, it's not just facing them back like 1 through 9 back-to-back in a game. It's having to come back day 2 after a team watches film. After a team scouts and sees where the gaping holes were, where the weaknesses were.
Swing and a miss to Wilson for strike one.
You got to reinvent yourself.
You have to go with a different game plan. Your setups are going to be different. I had to learn that lesson the hard way against Texas A&M as a freshman. I distinctly remember it. Shutting them out Saturday, waking up Sunday, and having a completely different experience.
The 0-1 pitch. Missed low and ball and 1 strike.
And I'll never forget it. It was my very first Big 12 series. That's not in any way, shape, or form what I am anticipating. But my point is there's going to have to be relearning going into whether it be tomorrow or Sunday.
1 ball, 1 strike. It's a season of adjustments is what I'm taking. The pitch is lifted foul and out of play. Now the Sooners are 1 strike away.
You know, on the flip side of that, I will say, this Baylor lineup is young. There are 2 upperclassmen in the whole thing.
Well, they've had a welcome to the Big 12 moment tonight for the youngsters. The 1-2 pitch bounced down the first base line. Ball gets it, will tag her. Ball game. Jordy Ball, cold game with the tag out to end it. And Oklahoma run rules the Baylor Bears again. Final score 9-1. For the Sooners, they're 27-0 on the season. 23 of those wins in run rule fashion. And they have now won 12 straight by run rule. In a word, Aaron Miller, wow.
Yeah, that's all I have. Wow, I'm going to echo that. I keep wondering when we're going to see a miscue, when we're going to see this team look even a little bit weak, and it just hasn't happened. They keep on going.
Oh,